I want to thank you for tuning in to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a blessed and wonderful day. You know I always say that. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. So we have a wonderful, wonderful interview with you today. It's just, we are always looking for different people out there that are doing different things, doing their dreams, going after their goals. And this artist, this gospel artist she is just amazing. Her name is Shawna Pat. I want to welcome her to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Thank you for being on the show. So how did you know you were going to be in the music industry, and not only that, a gospel recording artist?
I started at the age of 5 in the church house, and I never knew that God was prepping me for this very moment. I didn't even know that I would be doing gospel music at first, because initially when I left Alcorn State on a basketball scholarship, I moved to Houston, Texas to pursue my career in hip hop and R&B. And I went through some struggles with life. I went through a lot of things that my testimony would tell. I'm also working on a book to give that testimony to people, to let them know that they can make it through. And I went through a period of incarceration, and I was pregnant with my 4-year-old. She's now 4 years old. And I was on a probation hold. I didn't know when I was getting out. My mom had always raised us in the church, and things were just getting really hard. And I was watching T.D. Jakes, and God called me at that very moment at that table by myself. I'll never forget it. It was 6 o'clock in the evening. And he said, I gave you a voice, and I'm going to give you the platform that you want and that I need you to have. He said, but you can't do it the other way. You have to do it for me. There's enough of that out here already. So I started being obedient, and I was reading my word every day. As I sat down for those times when I was in, I call it solitude, those dry times, and your lowest places, that's where God comes and finds you at. And I just listened, and I was obedient, and I just said yes to my calling. I said, Lord, just show me what to do. Show me how you need me to do it. And that's how I ended up in gospel music. And I would never, ever, ever take it back. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
So, everybody has that moment when the Most High speaks to them and tells them, hey, this is where I need you to be. This is the door that's open for you, and this is where you're going to go. When that happened for you and you went forward, were there any surprises?
Oh, yeah, that the gospel music industry was not too far from the regular hip hop and R&B industry. The things that you would deal with, churches, they really shocked me. It's a business. No matter what, if you're working for God, when it comes to the music industry, it's definitely a business. And that's one of the reasons why I've enrolled in Full Sail University for music business. I'll be graduating July of this summer, 2022, because no one still won't tell you anything. Everybody seems like they're in competition. And like I said, it's a legitimate business. And I was thinking that just because it had something to do with God, everybody would just be open and receptive. I've had some churches tell me I was too hip, and I thought that we all shared the same common goal of winning souls over, at the end of the day. So that's one of the biggest surprises that I've faced thus far.
Wow. I don't think most people would realize that that's the case. I mean, they would, like you said, you thought, this would be like an open thing where people would share their beliefs and their love for the Most High, but instead you got a business. Oh, goodness gracious. So what have you learned throughout this time being in the music industry? Because we just gonna call it the music industry, because gospel or not, you just said it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. This is the business. So what have you learned being in the business of music?
I've learned that emotional connection is like one of the top priorities for not just music business, but any business. And you have to get out and create your own emotional connection And you just have to be as educated as possible. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you always have to be open to learn. The moment that you close your mind and you feel like you know it all, you won't excel. Humbleness is key, and always be open to learn.
Wow. Being that, most people would think that this would be just a great adventure in the church, in the whole gospel and just sharing the knowledge. What kind of advice do you give them? Because you went to school now, you're at Full Sail, you're graduating. Congratulations on that. What kind of advice do you give the next person that wants to be a gospel recording artist, and they may not understand that this is a business?
Just keep your heart on your music, but take your emotions, your feelings and emotions completely out. And like I said before, just remain open, because you will experience some things that are going to be like, okay, is this right through God? Am I really choosing the right path? But you have to keep your mind focused on the prize. It's about winning souls. So at the end of the day, if someone gives you an opportunity to get a platform to speak to millions of people all over the world about the word of God, know the business, but don't put too much energy in worrying about the business. Put people around you on your team that you can trust, that can take care of that business for you. And you just focus on saving the souls. You focus on writing that content and getting out there and showing up for God. That's all I can say. Just keep showing up for God. Keep doing people right. Keep loving, and it'll all fall into place.
How long did it take you to do that, to leave your emotions out of the picture?
I've been doing this for 12 years, and I never really caught it like that when I was doing the hip hop and R&B. I was much younger. I'm 32 now, and I was living in Houston, Texas. There's some pretty tough labels and tough people that's running that music industry over there on that side. So I had to deal with, I think, almost the hardest of the hard first. It's kind of like dealing with a Suge Knight, talking about the J Princes and the Rap-A-Lot and, the different things that they have in the Houston, Texas area. So you get the rough of the rough. I pretty much, after going through that, I believe God allowed me to go through that first to prepare me for what I'm going through now. I believe that previous experience of doing music in the hip hop and R&B world really helped me to see better, during this. It just helps me to understand that don't put expectations on anyone, not even yourself.
Wow. That's a hard lesson to learn. And it's a hard lesson. Have you ever had to not say anything just because if you did, it would be ruined and you know that you really truly want this done?
We do that a lot. I believe I do that every day. So 17,000 albums with just my husband and the kids and myself. And we do that on a day-to-day basis. On a daily basis, you have to just learn to listen more and keep quiet, Some people can't. Some people can handle the truth, or some people can handle your point of view. Let's not just say the truth. Some people can handle your point of view, and some people can't. So I believe it all comes with a spirit of discernment as well. And I've been blessed to have that spiritual gift of discernment to when I know pretty much when to back off.
Okay, I gotcha. And that's important. It can make or break a career. It really can. People can perceive you as being arrogant. And you know what I mean? And it may not be the case. It just may be that you're just, you know what you want and you spoke up about it, but maybe that was the wrong time or the wrong place, or it could be a lot of factors in there. So that's kind of cool to know that you do that on a daily basis.
I definitely believe in a time and a place for everything. Like I said, you have to tap into your spiritual gifts and become in tune with it. And knowing that I have a spiritual gift of discernment, it makes it a lot easier, because you can feel when another person is becoming frustrated or agitated at a conversation, and you just learn to shift it, even if they're wrong, just shift.
Definitely, definitely. I agree with you. I agree with you. So okay. So we have your latest song on your latest album. Let's talk about that.
Okay. The latest album is Grace. It's my new gospel LP, but my first ever gospel LP. I did 2 EPs, Zion and Anointed, before this one. So it's the first time that I went into the studio and I gave more, you know. With this song, Praise, I wanted to kind of reach the youth, you know, because a lot of times, you know, my mom taught in the school system and I'm dealing with children that are in the school system. And like I said, we're out with people every day, and you'd be surprised how many young people in the generation and parents don't really bring them to church or don't really push God on them. So I definitely, this is why this one to me pushes more towards them. And I always want to be able to be an activist, to be able to speak to the youth and to be able to, you know, help them along the way in learning and knowing who God is, you know, because if you don't teach a child, they won't know. And if I can get you on your feet just to dance a little bit, and, you know, it has their little groove to it and things like that. When my kids were attached to it, automatically, I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. You know, because I want to reach kids and let them know about God.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You know, it's just such a pleasure to see when people actually know what they want and they're going forward and they're going towards their goal. And Shawna, thank you so much for being on the show. Don't go anywhere. Listen, guys, please go ahead. We're going to have all of her information in the description box below, as well as any social media platforms or wherever she is. Please go follow, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the case may be. Support, support, support. Even if it's just listening to her songs, that still is support. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dream Chasers Radio. I am done, but Shawna's going to introduce her song. Thank you guys so much. And here is Shawna Pat with her latest single.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your girl, Shawna Pat. I'd like you to take a listen to my brand new single, Praise. Hope you love it.
Is forever. Anything that makes me feel better, makes me want to scream, makes me want to shout, show the whole world what I'm talking about, makes me want to stomp my feet. I cannot contain the praise inside of me, All I do is give him the praise each and every day, every single day of my life. Stop the break. It makes me want to lose control. I feel so deep in my soul. Makes me want to laugh, makes me want to cry, makes me want to jump and try to reach the sky. Makes me want to swim the whole sea. Cause I'm crazy about the way you love me. All I do is give him the praise each and every day, every single day of my life. Every dare to be different. I dare.